Good evening, everyone. I'd like to welcome you to our regular council meeting for December 4th, 2023. I want to thank everyone for coming out. We keep having meetings like this. We're going to need to build a new city hall with a bigger room, and I hope to see that one day. I want to thank you all for coming out. This is a great time to be here and to see our outgoing council, and also to swear in our new council. Thank you so much for being here. We're going to begin our meeting tonight with something a little bit different and special to me. For those of you who may not know, I, as well as Patrick Harmon, are graduates of Oak Ridge Military Academy. So as a going away present to me and as a present to him coming in, I invited Oak Ridge's Color Guard to come and present the colors for us tonight. So they're going to march in, and then after that we're going to have a moment of silence followed by the Pledge of Allegiance. But I would ask for everyone to stand for the posting of the colors.
Carry colors. Forward march. Colors, hope, left face, present arms. Sir, request permission to present the colors.
Present the colors.
Order, arms. Right face, forward arch. Colors, hope, left face, present arms.
We'll now have a moment of silence followed by the Pledge of Allegiance. Amen. Amen. I pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Order, arms. Right face, forward march. Colors, hope, left face, present arms. Sir, request permission to post the colors.
Post the colors.
Order, arms. Post. Present arms. Order arms. Center face. About face. Right face. Forward march.
Please be seated. Okay. We're going to begin with recognition. This proclamation is in regard to High Point native Ryan Blaney, who has won the NASCAR championship this year. Whereas Ryan Blaney is a third-generation race car driver who started his racing career at an early age and won his first race at the age of 9. And whereas Ryan grew up in the High Point area and was educated at Immaculate Heart of Mary Catholic School and Bishop McGuinness High School. And whereas Ryan began competing full-time in the Cup Series in 2016 and joined Team Penske in 2018 and currently drives the number 12 Team Penske Ford Mustang. And whereas Ryan won his first career Cup race at the Pocono 400 in 2017 and in 305 starts has recorded 10 first-place finishes, 68 top 5 finishes, and 130 top 10 finishes. And whereas Ryan clinched the 2023 NASCAR Cup Series championship with 3 wins, 8 top 5, and 18 top 10 finishes with a total of 5,035 points. Now therefore be it resolved that I, J.W. Wagner, Mayor of the City of High Point, along with the City Council, congratulate Ryan Blaney for his achievements in the sport of racing and for winning the 2023 NASCAR Cup Series championship and for positively representing High Point and North Carolina worldwide. So how about a round of applause for Ryan Blaney? Okay, we're going to have a strategic plan update, and we're going to go to Councilman Michael Holmes for an update on marketing and branding.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. A couple of years ago, we started out on a very large undertaking of rebranding our city. We went far and wide to many communities, and we captured the voice of our city. We couldn't have done that without the task force that volunteered their time to come in to be able to take a really hard look at who we are as a city and who we're aspiring to be as a city, and for us to create this brand. So tonight, we want to recognize them, and for that, I will turn it over to Ryan Ferguson and Managing Director Jerron Hollis.
Thank you, Councilman Holmes, Mayor, Member of Council, Madam Manager. High Point, what we create changes the world. We, as Councilmember Holmes said, we had a world-recognized branding initiative that our marketing manager, Ryan Ferguson, will tell you about. But we want to take this time to say thank you to those folks that helped make this possible. So without any further ado, I'll introduce our marketing manager, Ryan Ferguson.
Mr. Mayor, City Council, everyone in here in attendance, thank you. And truly, thank you. Thank you for starting that marketing and branding task force, and thank you for stepping up and realizing that we needed to tell our story. We needed to tell it in a way that the community would be represented. When I first started this position almost 10 years ago, which is crazy, one of my thoughts was, are we going to do a rebrand? And I'm glad we didn't. I'm glad we didn't because the way things worked out, I got to learn what this city was from this side. And what we did was hired a firm to come in, Civic Brand, and we went throughout this community to understand what you guys wanted, what you guys thought of High Point, what we needed to do to tell our story, not only to our residents or to certain people, but to the world. And I think we hit that. What Jerron had recognized is that the hard work that we put in, all the efforts with our marketing and branding task force, with our city council, and with the hard work of my team, we have taken second place in a worldwide competition for best brand and the best use of getting in the community and the most unique ways to do that. So a big round of applause for being on the world stage. Tonight, I really want to personally thank everybody that is in here. You guys already have on your dais a token of my team's appreciation. What that is our secondary, what we call the H-Dot logo, the H-Point logo. And that's just a little token of our generosity, willingness for what you guys have done. Those were created from the generator and some local artists that helped out with those. So I really do appreciate that. One of those local artists is my father, who helped do those. So I will give Jerry Ferguson a little shout out here to use his creativity to help give those out. So I do have the members of the Marketing and Branding Task Force. You guys, I know you are here. If you would please come up to the dais when I call your name if you're here. Rebecca McGee, Rachel Moss with Business High Point, Jessica Nguyen with High Point Market, Christy Barber with High Point Discovered, Melody Burnett, Visit High Point, Lauren Miller, again with Business High Point, Tammy Nagum with The Market, Lindsay Ayers with High Point University, and Hannah Ray with High Point Discovered. If you guys are here, if you would come forward, it was your guys' help and assistance getting out in the community and really giving us what we needed and some assistance throughout the process. So we want to say thank you to you guys too. If you guys could give this group a big round of applause as well.
While Ryan is making that presentation, the award was City Nation Place Global Conference Awards in London, England, and we were recognized November 9th, 2023.
Again, thank you, City Council, thank you, Marketing Branch Task Force, and thank you, Councilman Holmes, for leading this. Thank you.
Okay. Next item on the agenda is the public comment period. If you didn't, first meeting of every month is public comment period. You're allowed to come and speak on any topic to the council for 3 minutes. There was a sign-up sheet out front. We only had one person sign up, but if anyone else would like to speak, you'll have that opportunity. Matt Teal is already coming forward, I see, in anticipation of me calling him.
There's only one, then I know it's me.
So I'll recognize Matt Teal for 3 minutes.
Thank you, Mayor, council members, Madam Manager. We celebrate, we remember, we celebrate, we believe. I remember 10 years ago, 6 years ago, 4 years ago, where High Point was. Though just a spectator to what you do, I've come to understand that each council is its own entity, just as each council member stands on his or her own. In fact, it was once described to me, we don't really have one council sometimes, we have 9 individual councils, one for each different council member. That's why I believe it's both important and rare to find a group that will work so well together. It's so important that each of you, the 9 of you, chose to work together over these last 4 years for the betterment of our community, High Point. And while I congratulate each of the 9 of you, I particularly want to celebrate the 4 of you who are rolling off tonight. Councilman Wesley Hudson, a voice of reasoned moderation. You are a compassionate promoter of equality, fairness, prosperity, and livability. Thank you. Councilman Victor Jones, a man of action, a patriot, a doer. You are someone who never misses an opportunity to serve. Thank you. Councilman Chris Williams, a 9-year starter. You've seen our community through the thick and the thin. Or should I say the thin and then the thick. And our outgoing and outstanding Mayor, Jay Wagner. You were revitalization when revitalization wasn't cool. In fact, you once said to me, all you want is for someone your kid's age to one day say High Point is cool. I believe that time is here. You've championed and led a true transformation that makes our community, High Point, a better place to live, work, and play. We remember, we celebrate, we believe. I believe each of you have created a legacy that will stretch for decades to come. So specifically to these fabulous 4, as you take your leave, we remember, we celebrate, we believe. Thank you.
Is there anyone else who would like to speak during public comment? Yes.
Hello, everybody. Good evening, Madam Manager Logan Ford, Mayor Wagner, and all of City Council. Thank you so much for all of your service and everything you've done. I want to give a special shout out to the Arts Council's liaison for the past few years. Thank you so much, Councilman Hudson. You have been really wonderful and not just a fabulous liaison, but also a really new dear friend to me, and I appreciate all your kindness and generosity, so thank you so much. I want to take this opportunity to invite everybody. If you don't know, I'm Allie Arpazian. I'm the Executive Director of the High Point Arts Council. On Wednesday, in collaboration with the Arts Council of Greater Greensboro, we are presenting the Americans for the Arts Economic Prosperity data. This happens every 5 years. We are very intentional. We do a lot of surveys, and we collect this data on how the arts in Guilford County, in our community, impacts the economy. So we are presenting some really great data for you at the Carolina Crown at 10 o'clock on Wednesday. And then I would also, and you're all invited, and I would also like to take this opportunity to let you know that we have completed our new strategic plan. If you didn't know, the Arts Council is rebranding this year, and we have been very intentional to listen to the community for the past year. And everybody is invited to come to our relaunch and rebrand party on February 2nd from 4 to 6 p.m. at the Arts Council. So thank you again for your service, and this is an exciting time for High Point.
Thank you, Allie. Is there anyone else who'd like to speak during public comment? Okay, seeing and hearing none, then we will move on with our agenda. There are a number of consent agenda items. Is there anyone on council who would like to have any of these items pulled for individual consideration? Okay, hearing none, then I will entertain a motion regarding the consent agenda.
So moved. Second.
There's a motion that's been made by Councilman Moore, seconded by Councilman Johnson. Is there any discussion on the consent agenda? Okay, hearing none. All those in favor of approval of the consent agenda items, please signify by saying aye. Aye. Is there anyone opposed? Okay, that motion passes unanimously. Our general business agenda, one item there is to acknowledge the receipt of the abstract of votes for the High Point municipal election. I will entertain a motion.
So moved. Second.
Motion's been made by Councilman Holmes, seconded by Councilman Williams. Any discussion on this item? Hearing none, all those in favor of approval of the item, please signify by saying aye. Aye. Is there anyone opposed? And that motion passes unanimously. Next is some, well, it's my time, I think, to present some appreciations to some folks. I need a garbage can up here, I think. All right. Whereas on December 4th, 2017, Wesley Hudson was sworn in as a member of the High Point City Council to represent Ward 4 community. And whereas during his service to the community, Councilmember Hudson served in the capacity as Mayor Pro Tempore, member and chair of the Prosperity and Livability Committee, member of the Finance Committee, and a member of the Community Development Committee. And whereas Councilmember Hudson has served in a liaison capacity to the High Point Theater Advisory Board and the Arts Council, and whereas Councilmember Hudson has been a consistent advocate of having a vibrant life for the residents of High Point, supporting Keep High Point Beautiful, adding to the city's arts and culture, and advancing the city's mission statement of creating the single most livable, safe, and prosperous community in America. And whereas it is the desire of the mayor and the city council to recognize Councilmember Wesley Hudson for his outstanding abilities and accomplishment during his tenure on the High Point City Council. Therefore, I, J.W. Wagner, Mayor of High Point, North Carolina, do hereby present this proclamation and the key to the city of High Point to Mayor Councilmember Wesley Hudson as a lasting tribute to reflect the pride and appreciation of this city council to him for the unselfish and gracious giving of himself to this city as a citizen and a member of the city council. Whereas on December 4th, 2017, Victor Jones was sworn in as a member of the High Point City Council to represent the Ward 5 community. And whereas during his service to the community, Councilmember Jones has served as chair of the Public Safety Committee, member of the Finance Committee, member of the Planning and Development Committee, and is a Marine Corps veteran. And whereas Councilmember Jones has also served in a liaison capacity to the High Point Alcohol Beverage Control Board, Human Relations Commission, Convention and Visitors Bureau, Visit High Point, Connect High Point, Guilford County Local Emergency Planning Committee, and the Piedmont Triad Regional Council. And whereas Councilmember Jones has been a consistent voice for the residents of High Point by tirelessly promoting and supporting public safety, and is a steadfast advocate for veterans, and advancing the city's mission statement of creating the single most livable, safe, and prosperous community in America. And whereas it is the desire of the mayor and city council to recognize Councilmember Victor Jones for his outstanding abilities and accomplishments during his tenure on the High Point City Council. Now therefore, I, J.W. Wagner, Mayor of High Point, North Carolina, do hereby present this proclamation and the key to the city of High Point to Councilmember Victor Jones as a lasting tribute to reflect the pride and appreciation of this city council to him for the unselfish and gracious giving of himself to this city as a citizen and a member of the city council. Whereas on December 8th, 2014, Christopher Williams was sworn in as a member of the High Point City Council to represent the Ward 2 community. And whereas during his service to the community, Councilmember Williams served in the capacity of Mayor Pro Tempore, member of the Finance Committee, Prosperity and Livability Committee, Community Housing and Neighborhood Development Committee, Public Safety Committee, and the Community Housing, Neighborhood Development, and Public Safety Committee, and served as the chair of the Planning and Development Committee and the Community and Development Committee. And whereas Councilmember Williams served in a liaison capacity to the High Point Housing Authority, the High Point Furniture Market Authority, Forward High Point, Greater High Point Food Alliance, High Point Community Against Violence, and the Guilford County Economic Development Alliance Leadership Group. And whereas Councilmember Williams has been a consistent voice for the residents of High Point by his advocacy and passion regarding affordable housing, Operation Inasmuch, and advancing the city's mission statement of creating the single most livable, safe, and prosperous community in America. And whereas it is the desire of the mayor and city council to recognize Councilmember Christopher Williams for his outstanding abilities and accomplishments during his tenure on the High Point City Council. Now therefore, I, J.W. Wagner, Mayor of High Point, North Carolina, do hereby present this proclamation and the key to the city of High Point to Councilmember Christopher Williams as a lasting tribute to reflect the pride and appreciation of this city council for the unselfish and gracious giving of himself to this city as a citizen and a member of the city council.
Now it gets to be my turn.
That's right. So we'll have, now we'll have some remarks from the outgoing elected officials, and we'll start with you, Wesley, and work our way down, and then I get to bat to clean up.
This is probably the proudest thing that I get to do on my term as Mayor Pro Tem. Whereas J.W. Wagner began his local government service in 2003 when he was appointed to the Planning and Zoning Commission. For the last 20 years, he has served in several roles and was sworn in as a member of the High Point City Council representing Ward 4 in 2012. During this tenure, he served as Mayor Pro Tem, Chair of the Planning and Development Committee, member of the Prosperity and Livability Committee, and was elected mayor in 2017 and again in 2019. And whereas Mayor Wagner served in a liaison capacity to the High Point Arts Council, Chamber of Commerce, Convention and Visitors Bureau, the High Point Furniture Market Authority, Transportation Advisory Committee, Forward High Point, North Carolina Municipal Power Agency, Electricities, Guilford County Economic Development Alliance, Leadership Group, and the High Point Economic Development Corporation. He has served with extraordinary dedication and unprecedented devotion. And whereas Mayor Wagner has been a consistent voice for the residents of High Point by his support of the downtown revitalization to include the Truist Point Stadium and advancing the city's mission statement of creating the single most livable, safe, and prosperous community in America. And whereas it is the desire of this City Council to recognize Mayor J.W. Wagner for his outstanding abilities and accomplishments during his tenure as mayor and council member of the High Point City Council. Now, therefore, I, Wesley Hudson, Mayor Pro Tem of the City of High Point, North Carolina, present this proclamation to Mayor J.W. Wagner as a lasting tribute to reflect the pride and appreciation of this City Council to him for the unselfish and gracious giving of himself to this city as a citizen and a member of City Council and as mayor.
All right, well, I'll jump the gun a little bit. But Wesley, you go ahead. If you want to have, we'll now have remarks from outgoing elected officials. And Wesley, why don't you lead us off and we'll work our way down. How about that?
Well, as you heard, I'm sure you know, Jay Wagner held my seat before I did, and he is the reason that I ran for my seat. I watched elections, and I watched the work that he did, and I watched votes go from 8-1, and 8-1, and 8-1, and 8-1, and every now and then a 7-2, and then I watched it go to 5-4, and then I watched it go 7-2, and then I watched it go 9-0, and 9-0, and 9-0, and 9-0, and the city unified behind Mayor Wagner's leadership. And when he announced that he was running for mayor, of course I wanted to follow. I wanted to be part of that, and I'm grateful that I did. And I'm looking around the room, and 6 years ago, I probably wouldn't have been able to recognize 10 people in this room. And 6 years later, I will bet I know half of you personally, and that's thanks to this seat, and I'm grateful for that. You all have become very dear to me, and I greatly appreciate the support that you've given to me and to the city as well. To the manager, you're wonderful. The assistant managers, deputy manager, y'all are great. Thank you. Thank you for your work. Michael, you have tremendous passion. I have great respect for you. Tyrone, one of the kindest men that I know. And Britt, I mean, I can't talk enough about Britt. Britt and his wife Karen served me communion yesterday, and pretty much sums it up for our relationship. It was a very special moment for me. What to say to Jay? Jay and Lee have become dear friends of ours. Glad to have you all in my life. Chris Williams, what a guy. I mean, you have the purest servant heart that I've ever known. I really, really have a tremendous amount of respect for you. And Victor, you've become a great friend. I have great respect for you as well. Good luck, Cyril. And Patrick, you're going to be great. You're going to bring some great wisdom to this seat, and I look forward to the work that you do as well. So to all of you, I'll thank you. It's been an honor.
Chris?
Okay, so, I don't know, I've been back and forth on what I was probably going to say tonight, but how do you thank people for 9 years of trust and opportunity and partnership, collaboration that's made a difference that just basically created a new city? But before I do, let me frankly address something that I really didn't care for when it comes to this job. That's public speaking. I give it 0 stars, do not recommend, and highly unlikely to repeat. So, but honestly, it's hard for me to kind of express what these years have been like without kind of sounding cheesy. But I remember when the police chief tapped me on the shoulder because he said he heard that I was intended to run for council for the first time. And he said, well, I want you to be prepared for a thankless job. And if he knew me, he probably wouldn't have said that, because if anyone that knows me, that I don't ask much for myself. That's just never been my thing, not even from my own family. But I have no problem with asking for someone else. My reward has always been sitting back and watching people, or especially family, benefiting for my efforts in any part. Like, you know, you have your kids in your house during Christmas, or your family, and you love that. To me, that's more to me than anything else, just to be able to sit back and do that. And so, and the main thing was that they were, they were happy, they were fed, they were growing, learning, and that they were safe. Those were the primary pieces for me. And the truth was, I got my reward tenfold working with the city. You know, my happy night was when we saw 5,500 people standing in the stadium for the first time, families from all different parts of the city meeting together. And some of them, I even saw my family, some of my family I ain't seen in years. We live in the same city, I still ain't seen them in years, but I saw them at that game. And so that was my happy. The learning was really, with a little bit of help from me, with the Children's Museum. I'm seeing my grandkids and other children play and learning and growing. And I'm a little jealous, because that's what I wanted for me when I was a kid growing up, but I'm grateful for that. And, and then when it comes to the Fed part, we got Carl Veerling and the Greater High Point Food Alliance and their partnership with all the food pantries across the city, and the efforts that they made to make our lives and the lives of people, even the connection to Greensboro, made it better, because people had access to food that just wasn't there before. So I saw them fed. And the last part, which is the one that I gotta admit is one of the most dearest parts to my heart, is, just a couple of months ago, we got to celebrate 5 years of service from the Family Justice Center here in High Point, which is the one-stop shop of victims of domestic violence. Y'all, they have served 22,000 people through that center. 22,000. And 99% of the people that go through there live. I don't know how to express how grateful I am to have had any connection or any part of all of that. And that's what's made High Point great, better, made it so much better than what it was. And I've said now, if you can't find a job, or if you say it's nothing to do in High Point, then you're a hermit. You're not going outside, because there's plenty, all that's changed in our city. So I'll just express my thank you to everybody that played a part and that allowed me to be of service and be connected to you to see the difference here. And I'll say thank you to my family, who allowed me the opportunity, and the company that allowed a blue-collar worker just to be able to come and be a part of this. So thank you for that. most of all, I will always give God the glory for everything that he's giving me and my family throughout all the time. I'm thankful to the city staff. I've said it before, you're an amazing group of people led by Tasha and everybody that, you believe it or not, you oncoming council members and stuff, you're going to find out that you really got an excellent team here. And to my colleagues here in council, you know, it's always lovely. Is that the wrap-up music? Is that what it is? Okay. To my colleagues here in council, people that I really care for, when we have had the opportunity to go to different cities and advocate for High Point, and we sat down and broke bread, it's just, you find out you're just working with good people. It's just really good folks that you work with. But most of all, I guess, on the planet, I'll say thank you to my wife. I said it before, I'll continue to say it. It wouldn't be Councilman Williams without her. So, babe, I love you. I'll give you the heads up. Get ready to be sick of me, because I'm going to be around. And the last thing I'll say is to my constituents of Ward 2. My voicemail will change as of tonight. If you're calling Chris Williams for Anmore or Chris Williams business, please leave a message. But if you're calling for city business, in the mortal words of Erykah Badu, you better call Tyrone.
Now, Chris, I got to follow that. 6 years is a long time. I didn't know that I would do 6 years. I figured 2 years would be a shot at this city government thing. I didn't know if I'd love it or hate it, but I figured I'd give it a shot. Didn't think we'd go through a pandemic as a council together. We've got a lot of good things done in 6 years. And I don't get any credit for it. I just happen to be a member of two great teams of people that faced a lot of challenges and didn't always agree, but we finally came to what we felt was the best interest for the citizens of High Point. I always voted my conscience. I always prayed about everything that we did. Before every meeting, I always just said that be God's words, not mine, his actions, not mine. And I felt confident moving forward with that. I've had some aha moments as well, like Chris said, with the stadium. I'm not into baseball, but I am into Jesus, and I love the Christmas tree lighting ceremony. For me, that brought tears to my eyes more than anything that we've done in 6 years, seeing so many people that have the same faith as me coming together for something so special from all over the city, and just thinking that, you know, what if we hadn't ran? What if we hadn't put our thoughts into this and voted for those types of things? And it's brought so many people together and unified the city. I think I see a lot of division across the country, but, you know, the Bible says, as for me and my house, right? And I think here in our house, we've got a good thing going. And my prayer for the next mayor and council is that God stays with you and continues that direction that we've got to keep moving towards prosperity and safety and unification in the city. I couldn't be happier about my replacement. We served together 20 years ago. I loved him and his wife Lynn. They're great friends of mine. I was nervous about giving up that seat until you popped up, and I knew I didn't want to leave Ward 5 into anyone's hands, but I know you'll do right by them. I love those people. They meant a lot to me. I'm very grateful for all the staff. We've been through a few city managers and attorneys and clerks, and it's sad to see them go. I'm not going anywhere. I'll still be here. I still got my life here. I'm excited about the direction. I'm thankful for all the friendships that I've got in this room and out in this community that I would have never met had I not been crazy enough to run for office. But I'm excited to see what my personal life looks like. I haven't seen that in 6 years. And for my relationship, Kate's only known Victor Jones, a city council member, who's always on the phone and emailing and helping people with sidewalks and chickens and roosters. So I don't know how long it's going to take to transition back to having a personal life. I don't know if it'll be tomorrow or a year from now, but I'm going to get started on that tomorrow morning. So appreciate all of y'all, and I love you.
Okay, I guess it's my turn. I got involved in city council and in city politics mainly for a couple of reasons. One, I think everybody who lives in a city has a duty to work to make their community better. And so for me, I felt that it was my duty to run. I came back here, born and raised here, came back here with my wife, Lee, in 1998. We moved back here because Lee and I grew up in High Point, and we were around our grandparents, and we wanted our kids, both of our parents were living in, both sets were living in High Point at the time, and we wanted our kids to grow up around their grandparents. And we're High Pointers, so we came back here after I finished law school in 98, and I felt a duty to make my city better, and I felt like the best way that I could do it was to serve in office. And I started out on the Planning and Zoning Board, and that wasn't good enough. So the other reason that I got into it was frustration, because when I came back in 1998, I saw a city that, quite frankly, I didn't feel like was interested in improving itself, or didn't have the right people in the right places to make ourselves more economically competitive, who could, I didn't feel like we were doing things to bring people together. And for me, the issue was downtown revitalization. And I felt that our city had become a city where everyone tended to stay in their own neighborhoods or in their own silos, and that we needed a place where everybody could come together. And in most cities, that's your downtown. Everybody should feel some ownership of their downtown, that it's a place where no matter who you are, no matter what you look like, no matter how much money you got in your bank account, you should feel some ownership of your downtown. It should be the place that brings all of your people together. It's a place where you run into people you don't know, where you meet people that you do know, and where you come to know people that you don't know. That was kind of confusing. Anyway, but it's the place where we all should feel comfortable going, where we should feel comfortable rubbing up against people we don't know, where we meet people who can help us, where we can meet people that we can help. And so that was my vision for the future of the city. And I was elected to council, and I pursued that for a while, and it didn't go very well, and I almost didn't run again. And Bill Bencini actually talked me into running again in 2014, and I did. And during that period of time, things really started to change. And then I was able to run, and I was blessed enough to be elected mayor in 2017, again in 2019, to pursue a vision that I and a lot of others, quite frankly, had for the future of the city. And we've really done great things. And when I say we, I mean the people sitting up here, so much of the staff, and all of you, honestly. None of this would happen without the support of the citizens. If you've got a vision and it's not the right one, the folks will tell you. And so there's a couple of things looking back on my time as mayor that I really appreciate, and one of them is that so many people in the city really bought into the vision that we've had. And so so much so really that I say this a lot, but I really felt like when I first moved back and when I first got into politics, our city motto could have been, "That'll never happen here." But I really feel now like High Point's motto should be, "What are we going to do next?" Because we've accomplished so much, and revitalization takes a while, folks. So if you're not feeling it yet, don't worry, it's coming. Okay? I know there's still parts of the city that don't feel revitalized, and I get that. But it's coming. It's coming. And if you want to feel it, you don't have to go too far to get it now, I'll tell you. So that's why I'm here. That's why I did what I did and why I served the city in the way that I did. And I hope as you look back on me, you'll believe that I've done a good job, and I hope you will feel that way. I've had the blessing of working with so many great people. I was thinking since I've been on council, we've had 3 different city managers, 3 different police chiefs, I think 3. Yeah, 3 different police chiefs. No, 4 now. We got a new one. So we got 4 different police chiefs. I think we've had 2 different fire chiefs since I've been on council. So, you know, I try to think back to when I first got on and all the people who guided me and taught me, because I needed that too. I came in here with a long list of things I wanted to get accomplished, and I learned pretty quickly that the city goes in yearly cycles, you know, and once you pass that budget, it's hard to get anything changed before the next budget. So then I decided, well, if I can do one transformational thing a year, I'll feel really good, you know, really good. And I think we've done that. I think every year we could look back and say there's at least one transformational thing we've done. But it's not just me. I mean, the staff, you guys are the foot soldiers of the city. You're the ones who take the direction from us and go out and do the transformational things. Y'all the one that really make those things happen. So I have to say thank you to all of you. And to the entire city, all the city employees, folks, you know, while we're in here tonight, the police are out there policing, the firemen are out there, the fire department's out there looking to protect us. You know, your garbage is going to get picked up tomorrow, your water turns on, your toilet's flush, your electricity cuts on. So when you flip on that electricity, remember there's a bunch of people down here who got your back, right? They're the ones who get that done every day. And please don't take them for granted, because they're out there 24/7 all the time taking care of you. So remember that. Folks on council, I've really enjoyed serving with y'all. It was always my goal to keep our council functioning together as a team. Not disagree in public too much. That's been my strategy, and I think y'all have done a great job of that. When we have disagreements, we tend to talk about it behind the scenes, try to work through it, and we try to be fair with each other. And that comes by honoring one another and respecting one another, and I think we all do that very well. Michael, I appreciate your dedication. What you have done with this marketing thing is just unbelievable. I mean, this is, you know, y'all think this is just logos and stuff, but it's not. It's a much bigger thing than that, and it took us a year. You know, Michael headed that up, and I just thank you so much for your dedication to that. You're one smart fella, I'm gonna tell you. I've always been very impressed with how intelligent Michael is. Tyrone, you're like the quiet voice of wisdom. Is what I think of when I think of you. Tyrone doesn't say a whole lot, but when he does, you better listen when Tyrone talks, because and she's such a calming influence. We've been in meetings where things might be getting a little testy, and when Tyrone speaks, the room calms down, and people listen, you know. And Brett, you and I have been around forever. We're like the old timers on the council now, and Brett's just the rock. He's always here. He keeps us from spending too much money. That's why I put him in charge of finance, because I know he's, you know, tight with the dollar, and so so he's a good guy. You know, you want that guy in charge of the money, right? So you know, Brett is steadfast. He's been around a while, and he's a source of great wisdom. Wesley, you are such a good friend, and you've been such an inspiration to things like the arts, things that are so creative in our city, and you're such a good sounding board for those things. And again, you're tight with the dollar too, so they'll put you on finance, but you're also just a good voice of reason in the room, and I want to thank you for your service, truly. I'll start on the other end. Cyril, you're going to be a great mayor. You're going to be a great mayor. I truly believe that, and I respect you so much for your intelligence and for your passion, your public speaking ability. I don't like speaking after you. I don't like speaking after him, and I don't like speaking after Nito Cobain. But you're going to do a great job. Your passion for the city is amazing, and I'm looking forward to seeing what you and our future city council do. You're incredibly intelligent, and I respect you for that and for your passion for the city. And I know that going forward, the city's in good hands. Vic, we go pretty far back too, and you're a steadfast guy. You are the one that no matter which way the wind is blowing, I can always talk to you, and you can make sure that I'm centered where I need to be. We have very similar beliefs in things, and when I don't know what to do in a choice, with a choice, sometimes I will talk to you, because I know that you will have good advice for me. So you've been such an advocate for the veterans in this community. The things that you've done with the Hero Center and with your work with veterans is amazing to me. And I respect you so much for that service and for your service to our city, and I really want to thank you for that. Monica, you and I go way, way back too. I think when I ran for mayor in 2010, you had a party at your house for me. And yet you still talk to me after. We had a great time, and I know that part of your story is kind of like my story. It was your passion for revitalization, I think, that got you here. With the We Are at High Point group, and the Dwani study, and Ignite High Point, and all of that going back 10 years. And I admire you for your passion for the city, and for your passion for your ward. You're such a fighter for the people of Ward 3. That area of town needs a lot of help, and you've been such a passionate leader for that part of town, and I really do respect you for that. And I know you're going to do great going forward as well. There's going to be a good mix of new and old on the next council, and I'm counting on y'all that are staying around not to mess this up. Okay. And Chris, I'll tell y'all, I love everybody on this council, but I love me some Chris Williams. I'm going to tell you, Chris and I have been through a lot together, and I really, really have so much respect for you, Chris. I mean, I'm almost at a loss for words to tell y'all how I feel about Chris Williams. He and I have been on council together a long, long time, and done so many things together, working with trying to develop things for kids, help for kids who might be wanting to join gangs, working together to try to find ways to redirect them, to get them out of that lifestyle, to help better our community by making sure that we're helping kids. Working on, I know you were Mayor Pro Tem for me. Were you Mayor Pro Tem once or twice? Twice, that's right, twice. Loved serving together with Chris. I think we met in 2010. We were putting out signs on election night. I think that's the first time we met. And we were up there at the corner of Brentwood and Green putting out signs during the night. And I had not met him on the campaign trail, I guess, until the night before the election. And so I remember that was the first time we met. But I'm really going to miss serving with you. I respect you so much. And I'm planning to stay in touch with you now that you will have more free time. I'm not going to have any free time, at least till March. But after that, if things don't go as well as I want them to, I plan to hang out with you more. Folks, I'll bring this to an end, because I know I know y'all didn't come here to hear me talk. So, but lastly, I have to thank my wife, Lee. She's been with me through all of this. All of the nights when I couldn't sleep and the times I was angry with people, and she had to hear it all and deal with it all. And she's the one who, I couldn't do this without her. And I've said this many times, I'm not the husband I could be or the father I could be because I do this job. And there are drawbacks to doing this job, folks. There really are. And so she has been willing to tolerate that and to give me the freedom to do my thing. And so I love her so much for that, and I thank her so much for that. So, with that, the last thing I'll say is just thank you to the people at High Point for giving me this opportunity to serve you. It has been truly one of the greatest blessings of my life to hold this office and to serve the people at High Point. And I'm not going anywhere, well, maybe not too far, but I'll still be around. I am running for Congress. I'm a politician, folks. I got to tell you what I'm doing next. I am running for Congress, and I expect all y'all in this room to vote for me on March the 5th. And I hope that I will get the opportunity to serve this city again in Washington. But I will always keep serving this city no matter where I am. So thank you. Thank you to all of you. Thank you so much. The next thing on our agenda is to adjourn. There's one announcement before we adjourn, and that is that at the end of this meeting, we're going to need to take about a 5-minute recess to reset the stage up here for the next meeting. So bear with us, if you will, while we get that done. So the floor is open for a motion or for any comments anyone else might like to make.
Mayor, I feel that we'd be remiss if we didn't take time, at least myself personally, to tell you, Councilman Hudson, Councilman Williams, and Councilman Jones, how much we appreciate you all's service, what you've done and dedication to our city. It's not something that should be taken for granted. And I think that we're all the better, stronger, and wiser, and this city will keep growing because of your sacrifice. And so we hope that we'll see you all again in the near future, and that we'll continue to count on your partnership in whatever capacity that brings. With that, I make a motion to adjourn.
I second.
There's a motion to adjourn by Councilman Jefferson, and I believe it was seconded by Councilman Johnson. Is there any discussion prior to vote on the motion?
Mayor, just want to give clarification for those who are wondering. There's a 5-minute recess, as he said, then right after that, we'll go into all the swearing in. So just want everyone to know, for those who are wondering what's coming next, 5-minute recess, then swearing in for the next council.
Okay. Anyone else? Okay. All those in favor of adjourning, please signify by saying aye. Aye. Anyone opposed? Okay, this motion is adjourned.
I would like our incoming council members, if they would please take their seat on the dais. The names are listed, and then we will begin our oaths of office.
She needs them to sit. She needs all up there. She needs all up there. She needs all up there. Everybody. Yes.
I'm going to start the stream. Are you ready?
Okay. Bishop.
Let me double check this.
Okay.
At this time, we'll begin the installation of the 2023 through 2027 High Point City Council elected officials. The oaths of office will be administered by the Honorable Stephanie L. Reese, Superior Court Judge, and the Honorable Jan Samet. Oaths will be conducted in the following order. We will begin with Mayor Cyril Jefferson, with the oath of office administered by Stephanie L. Reese. If you'll please step forward, Councilmember Mayor Jefferson.
I need to slide with it. Crowd. Or a photo bomb.
I appreciate you setting the shorter members of your family nearer me. You ready, Mayor? All right. There you go. Yep. I, Cyril Jefferson,
I, Cyril Jefferson,
do solemnly swear
do solemnly swear
that I will support,
that I will support,
uphold, and defend
uphold, and defend
the Constitution of the United States of America
the Constitution of the United States of America
and the laws thereof,
and the laws thereof,
that I will support,
that I will support,
uphold, and defend
uphold, and defend
the Constitution and the laws of the state of North Carolina,
the Constitution and the laws of the state of North Carolina,
not inconsistent therewith,
not inconsistent therewith,
and that I will faithfully
and I will faithfully
discharge the duties
discharge the duties
of the office of mayor
of the office of mayor
according to the best of my skill and ability.
according to the best of my skill and ability.
So help me God.
So help me God.
Congratulations.
Next, we will have the oath of office conducted for at-large council member Britt Moore, administered by the Honorable Jan H. Samet.
There are some of you who are wondering why a judge came to administer the oath to Britt today. And I just want you to know that I'm continuing in a tradition that has lasted for more than 50 years between the Moore family and the Samet family. Britt's father and his uncle were beloved clients of my law firm, and we swore at one another religiously on regular occasions, and I'm continuing that tradition. And with that in mind, Britt, would you put your left hand on the Bible and raise your right hand? I state your full name.
I, Britt Whitemore,
Do solemnly swear
do solemnly swear
that I will support,
that I will support,
uphold, and defend
uphold, and defend
the Constitution of the United States of America
the Constitution of the United States of America
and the laws thereof.
and the laws thereof,
That I will support,
that I will support,
uphold, and defend
uphold, and defend
the Constitution
the Constitution
and the laws
and the laws
of the state of North Carolina,
of the state of North Carolina,
not inconsistent therewith,
not inconsistent therewith,
and that I will faithfully
and that I will faithfully
discharge the duties
discharge the duties
of the office of a council member
of the office of a council member
according to the best of my skill and ability.
according to the best of my skill and ability.
So help me God.
So help me God.
Congratulations.
Next, the oath will be conducted for at-large council member Amanda Cook, administered by the Honorable Stephanie L. Reese, Superior Court Judge. Judge Reese will conduct the remaining oaths.
I, Amanda Cook. Do solemnly swear. That I will support. Uphold and defend. The Constitution of the United States of America. And the laws thereof. That I will support. Uphold and defend. The Constitution and the laws of the state of North Carolina.
And the laws of the state of North Carolina.
Not inconsistent therewith.
Not inconsistent therewith.
And that I will faithfully discharge the duties of the office of council member according to the best of my skill and ability. So help me God. Congratulations.
Next, we'll have the oath conducted for Ward 1 council member Vicky M. McKeever.
I, Vicki McKeever, do solemnly swear that I will support, uphold, and defend the Constitution of the United States of America and the laws thereof, that I will support, uphold, and defend the Constitution and laws of the state of North Carolina, not inconsistent therewith, and that I will faithfully discharge the duties of the office of council member according to the best of my skill and ability, so help me God. Congratulations!
Next, we will have our oath administered for Ward 2 Councilmember Tyrone Johnson.
Left hand, right hand. I, Tyrone Johnson, do solemnly swear that I will support, uphold, and defend the Constitution of the United States of America and the laws thereof, that I will support, uphold, and defend the Constitution and laws of the state of North Carolina, not inconsistent therewith, and that I will faithfully discharge the duties of the office of council member according to the best of my skill and ability. So help me God. Congratulations.
Next, we will have the oath conducted for Ward 3 Councilmember Monica Peters.
There we go, right there. I, Monica Peters,
I, Monica Peters,
do solemnly swear
do solemnly swear
that I will support,
that I will support,
uphold, and defend
uphold, and defend
the Constitution of the United States of America
the Constitution of the United States of America
and the laws thereof,
and the laws thereof,
that I will support,
that I will support,
uphold and defend
uphold and defend
the Constitution and laws
the Constitution and laws
of the state of North Carolina,
of the state of North Carolina,
not inconsistent therewith,
not inconsistent therewith,
and that I will faithfully
and that I will faithfully
discharge the duties
discharge the duties
of the office of council member
of the office of council member
according to the best
according to the best
of my skill and ability.
of my skill and ability.
So help me God.
So help me God.
Congratulations.
Next, we'll have the oath conducted for Ward 4 Council Member Dr. Patrick Harmon.
Left hand, right hand. Ready. I, Patrick Harmon, do solemnly swear that I will support, uphold, and defend the Constitution of the United States of America and the laws thereof, that I will support, uphold, and defend the Constitution and laws of the state of North Carolina, not inconsistent therewith, and that I will faithfully discharge the duties of the office of council member according to the best of my skill and ability. So help me God. Congratulations.
That's beautiful.
Next, the oath will be conducted for Ward 5 Council Member Tim Andrew.
I had to tell Councilman Andrew that I knew he was going to end up somewhere great because I met his wife at a polling place one time, and she could not say enough nice things about her husband. And that's always a good sign. I, Tim Andrew,
I, Tim Andrew,
do solemnly swear
do solemnly swear
that I will support,
that I will support,
uphold, and defend
uphold, and defend
the Constitution of the United States of America
the Constitution of the United States of America
and the laws thereof,
and the laws thereof,
that I will support,
that I will support,
uphold, and defend
uphold, and defend
the Constitution and laws
the Constitution and laws
of the state of North Carolina,
of the state of North Carolina,
not inconsistent therewith,
not inconsistent therewith,
and that I will faithfully
and I will faithfully
discharge the duties
discharge the duties
of the office of council member
of the office of council member
according to the best
according to the best
of my skill and ability.
of my skill and abilities.
So help me God.
So help me God.
Congratulations.
Next, we will have the oath conducted for Ward 6 Councilmember Michael Holmes.
Now, I'm not saying this is the best ward just because it's my ward, and that we might have the best council member because he's in my ward, but it might be true. I, Michael Holmes, do solemnly swear that I will support, uphold, and defend the Constitution of the United States of America and the laws thereof, that I will support, uphold, and defend the Constitution and laws of the state of North Carolina, not inconsistent therewith, and that I will faithfully discharge the duties of the office of council member according to the best of my skill and ability. So help me God. Congratulations.
We would like to thank Judge Reese and Judge Samet. Can we please give it up for both of them? And I will officially call this meeting of the 2023 to 2027 City of High Point City Council to order. In terms of our formal roll call, we have with us here today Councilman Tim Andrew, Councilwoman Amanda Cook, Councilman Britt Moore, Councilman Michael Holmes, Councilwoman Monica Peters, Councilman Tyrone Johnson, Councilwoman Vicky McKeever, and Councilman Dr. Patrick Harmon. And I'm here as well, Mayor Cyril Jefferson. We have a few agenda items that we'll consider this evening, and it will be a brief meeting. The first item that we have for consideration is our election of the Mayor Pro Tem, and I'll open the floor for any motions or discussion.
Mayor, I would like to make a motion for Councilmember Michael Holmes to serve as the role as Mayor Pro Tem.
Mayor, I would like to second that. We have a motion by Councilwoman Peters and a second by Councilman Johnson. Is there any discussion on the item? If no discussion, then we'll call for the vote. All those in favor?
Aye.
All those against? That vote passes unanimously. Our next agenda item is the appointments to our standing committees of the 2023-2027 High Point City Council. Council is requested to confirm appointments for these committees as included in the attachments that all council members received. At this time, we'll entertain a motion for approval.
Mr. Mayor, I'd like to make a motion for approval.
Thank you for your motion. Is there a second?
Second.
We have a motion made by Councilman Holmes and a second by Councilwoman Peters. Is there any discussion on this item? If none, then all those in favor, please signify by saying aye. Aye. All those against? The ayes have it. That motion passes unanimously. The third agenda item we have are the appointments of council liaison members to the various boards and commission agencies that we have with our partners throughout the city and the region. Council is requested to approve this item to these various agencies. All council members received the attachments via email, and I believe we've had a chance to discuss. Are there any questions about this item? And if not, we'll entertain a motion.
So moved.
There's a motion by Councilman Moore. Is there a second? There's a second by Councilman Holmes. Any discussion on the item? If none, then we'll call for the vote. All those in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any against? The ayes have it. That motion passes unanimously. Next, item 2023-548. It's the ordinance establishing dates and times for
For the official sessions of the High Point City Council, council is requested to adopt an ordinance which will establish our dates and times for the 2023 to 2027 High Point City Council. All council members, again, receive this as attachments, and you also have those for your review. Are there any questions about this item? If there are none, then I'll open the floor for a motion.
Motion to approve.
Motion made by Councilwoman Peters. There's a second made by Councilman Johnson. Is there any discussion on this item? All those in favor, please signify by saying aye. Aye. Any against? The ayes have it, and that motion passes unanimously. We have adoption of ordinance establishing rules and procedures for the 2023 to 2027 High Point City Council. Council not only received this as an attachment, but also our city attorney, I believe, shared some remarks on this. Did any council members have any questions for our city attorney based on this agenda item? If there are no questions or discussion, we'll open the floor for a motion.
Motion to approve.
Motion made by Councilman Andrew. Any second?
Second.
Second made by Councilwoman Cook. Any discussion on this item? If there is none, all those in favor of the motion, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any against? That motion passes unanimously. Folks, that's actually it in terms of our meeting for this evening. We just made it through.
short.
We just made it through probably the fastest meeting we'll ever have in these next 4 years.
Oh, no. Oh, no.
That's easily the fastest. I do want to say, just in terms of remarks, how much we appreciate every single person who took time to be here with us this evening. That's not something that we take for granted. We often believe that government is for the people, by the people, which means that we can't do it without you all. The work that we'll do over these next several years, however effective it will be because we partner with every single person in this room and the many more who are out there amongst our city. From the bottom of my heart, I'll tell you that I love you. And I am so grateful for you all believing in us. And I'm excited. I think there's a lot of great things on the horizon for us. I'm excited because we've got a powerhouse team led by our city manager, Tasha Logan Ford. I can see all types of department directors, chiefs and things around the room, our assistant city managers and deputy city managers. And I know we can't do this all without you. I also know we can't do it without some of our partners in other government bodies. I see some folks here from different groups. I want to recognize our county commissioners. We have Chairman Skip Austin, who's with us here in the room. We appreciate you. We also have Vice Chairwoman Commissioner Carvina J. Foster. I said it backwards. J. Carvina Foster. I think I also saw newly appointed council member Brandon Gray, who's with us from the Guilford County Commissioners as well. Are there any other county commissioners here? Next, I recognize that we have several of our esteemed colleagues from the Guilford County Board of Education. I see the Honorable Chairwoman Dina Hayes. Thank you so much for being here with us. I also see the Honorable Kim Irby, who's here with us from the Board of Education. And I saw earlier, I don't know if she's still here, but I saw Linda Wellborn from the Board of Education with us as well. We want to recognize her for taking time to be here with us. One more time. Michael Logan. Want to also recognize the Honorable Michael Logan, newly appointed to the Board of Education as of this year as well. Thank you so much. We also saw from our county officials, our Sheriff Danny Rogers. If you're still here with us, we appreciate you taking time to come on out and celebrate this moment, as well as our District Attorney, Avery Crump. Can we please celebrate both of them for being here with us? I believe I saw our House Minority Whip, Amos Quick. We appreciate you being here with us. From the North Carolina General Assembly, as well as Legislator Cecil Brockman. I believe I saw Representative Brockman with us as well. And of course, we have the Honorable Judge Reese and Judge Samet with us, and we appreciate you all so much. Are there any other elected officials here? All right. With that, I'll open the floor for any closing remarks from members of council.
Mayor, if I might just share
real quick. It's always an exciting night. It's bittersweet to have the ones you worked with to be leaving. It's just like any change. But Election Day of 2019, that morning, I visited the High Point Hospital. My dad was there. My sister and brother were there. And it was tough for me to leave to head out to go out to the polls that day, but I knew that's what my dad would expect from me, and he said so. That afternoon later, I was expecting to go back to see him, and I went, got notification that he'd been moved to hospice. After being blessed with a win in 2019, I went and spent the evening with my family there, and it got late, and as families do, others needed to attend to many things, their families or whatever. I told them I wanted to stay. Around 3:30 in the morning, I was with Dad, and he left us. He transitioned to a better place. So fast forward to March 31st of this year, and we were in D.C., and I got a call that I might want to get home. My mom was not doing as good as we had hoped. So I got home, and again, my wonderful family was all there by her side, and my daughter had driven in from Charleston, and I got the chance to tell the family that I would like to stay again. So my daughter said, well, you can stay if you want to, but I'm staying with you. I don't think any of us expected Mom to leave then, but around 1 o'clock that night, as I was by her bed holding her hand, my daughter I'd made go to sleep a little while earlier. Mom took her last breath. So kind of, as I said, bittersweet. This is my first time without them. So grateful for my family. They were rock stars, y'all, for parents. They were just incredible people. And I'm so blessed and fortunate. My sister, my lovely wife and son were able to be here tonight. This is a challenging thing to do, and I appreciate all the support to have enough votes to get back here. I'm extremely grateful. I'm a proud High Pointer. This is a special place. To my wife, Karen, I love you, and echo some of the others that have said how important it is. You're a great partner and a great friend. Thank you.
Mr. Mayor, if I may, first I want to say thank you to all of those who participated in this year's election. You know, democracy can be a tricky thing, but it's a beautiful thing. We should value it. And all of your voices were heard, not just at the polls, but we heard you. Whether we knocked on your door, whether we called you, whether we emailed you or spent time with you, we heard you. And I think this is the essence of this council and the councils prior, is that we deeply, deeply understand and hear what the needs of this city are, and we have a purpose to address them. No one can achieve anything if they don't have a purpose. And our purpose has been to serve, to protect, to build this city that we all love. About 20 years ago, my wife and I chose High Point as our home. We could have gone a bunch of different places, but High Point was our choice. We built our family here. My oldest daughter, she didn't make the trip back. Her academics really outpaced her love for Dad, I guess. Priorities, right? You know, you raise a child and they always get you. It's always your own. But we're proud of her. She's a sophomore at UNC Charlotte. She's doing well. My youngest daughter, Cameron, is here. My wife, Daria, of 27 years, who has been both the wind beneath my wings and my anchor. So whether it's 5 o'clock in the morning putting out signs or 10 o'clock at night when I'm on the phone with a constituent, she's made great sacrifices for me to do this job because she knows that it's my calling. She knows that service was drummed into me by my mother, who is no longer with us. And every time I go to the refrigerator, her picture is up there. And if you can't tell by looking at me, I go to the refrigerator quite a bit. So I'm always seeing that smile of hers, and I feel like she's taunting me because she knows that I cannot, that what she put into me has shaped me today, and my love for this city and my love for service is because of her. And so I offer that to you. I offer you all of my effort, all of my passion, and everything that I have to continue to build this city. And I thank you so much for your support and your faith, and we'll do everything that we can to reward it. Thank you.
Mr. Mayor, if I could just make a quick comment. I know I like to talk a lot, but there's plenty of time for that. I just want to acknowledge my mother drove from South Carolina to be here, and she instilled in all of us a curiosity and fostered a curiosity that my brothers and I have. And I often joke that, you know, we never got to go out to eat. They would always say we had food at home, so we didn't get to go out to eat. But recently I traveled with just my brothers as adults, and I found out actually we're just really annoying because we wanted to know how everything worked at every restaurant and everywhere we went. We were interviewing everyone. And I know that's because my mom often gave us challenges and challenged us to really think about how things work. And I look forward to learning a lot in this role. I think this is a city that is on the verge of just exploding into greatness. It's a place that I chose to come recently. I think probably the most recent transplant here, up here. And as soon as I came, we went into a pandemic and shut down, but somehow through networking, Cyril Jefferson's name kept coming up and kept coming up. And so finally, I just sent him an email out of the dark and said, can we please meet? I think I'm supposed to meet you. And that was 2021. So in just 2 years, to go from basic strangers to now being up here together has been really exciting for me, and I really appreciate that. But I also want to acknowledge all of the members of the High Point NAACP who are here this evening. I could not be here if it was not for the High Point NAACP and the work that they have been doing and that I got to join in the past couple of years and serve as member of the executive board. So if you're from the High Point NAACP, if you would please just stand and be recognized. The outgoing board made history just a few months ago adopting the recommendations of the One High Point Commission. And I feel very honored that I will get to be a part of putting those recommendations into practice and making sure that we do right by all of the work that has been done by many people in High Point, especially my mother, Doris, my other mother, my High Point mother. I just want to thank you because I don't have any immediate family other than my son and my partner here in High Point, but I have a lot of High Point family. So thank you all, and looking forward to working with everyone.
Anyone else for comments?
Mayor, if I may say, as my second term starts, first of all, let me say, I give honor to God, I tell you, because without him, I would not be here, and I acknowledge him in everything and anything that I do. And so, to my family, I tell you, my family, I love my family. Okay, and you guys are my family. To my beautiful mother over there, wave your hand. Amen. But our city is, and I believe it's already been said, that we are on the verge of greatness. If we continue on the path that we are on, there is nothing that can stop us. When we are united, there is nothing that can stop us except for ourselves. And I believe that this council that we have is going to do great things. But we need you to continue pushing us. Let us know when we fall down. But one thing, when we fall down, we'll get back up.
Amen.
And so continue to keep us in your prayers as we continue to do the work for us, because we all live here in High Point, and we all want to see a better High Point, right? For our kids, for our grandkids, for our great-grandkids, and so on. And so I always leave this, that I'm determined to make High Point a better place than when I arrived in 1971. When I arrived, I was born in 1971. Some of y'all trying to figure out my age. I'll make it clear. But I've always been determined to make a difference. And that's what I do in my church. I thank the greatest church, Greater Praise of Deliverance, the church that I pastor. I thank them for their support. And even when I've never missed, but I may come in late because of campaigning and so on. But they're very understanding people, and I love you. And again, to the High Pointers, if you're a High Pointer, or if you're not, continue to pray for High Point as we continue to go higher. It's only up from here, y'all.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll say a word real quick. So first of all, I want to thank my family that made it tonight. My beautiful mother-in-law, Sandra Peters, thank you so much for being here. And my beautiful aunt, who's 92 years old, came out. Thank you so much for being here. And my wonderful husband, Alan Peters, thank you for being here. Thank you. And then this is the first time that my daughter did not get to come. She's a junior at Carolina, and I'm so super proud of her. But she was here in spirit because the Bible that I did my swearing in is her Bible, and it has her name on it that she was given at church. So that was really super special. So, and I did get a little teary-eyed. Thank you, Stephanie, for like keeping me focused. And I do that because I love what I do. I'm very, very passionate about serving the citizens of High Point, and I'm just so honored. And one funny thing is, so I don't know if y'all know this or not, but the last 6 years, I've been the only woman. So I am so glad that there are 2 other councilwomen on this, and I'm really looking And of course, our wonderful female city manager, that was the first one in the history of High Point, by the way. And all the staff and all the citizens. I remember the week before the election, I was getting a little bit of anxiety, and I started thinking, at the end of the day, it didn't really matter who won, because the citizens of High Point is the heart and soul of High Point. So High Point was going to be okay no matter what. So to the citizens of High Point, thank you so much. I'm so honored to serve you for 4 more years. Thank you so much.
All right, that was the final opportunity. We want to thank you all again for being here with us. I have two final quick notes I just want to shout out. I want to shout out our newly appointed interim police chief, Curtis Cheeks, who's here with us. And I also want to ask every single person to open your phones and plug into your calendars January 12th to January 15th. We heard from many of you when you mentioned that you want to celebrate with us and that we should commemorate this moment, and that we should take some time to recognize what it is. And I'm so grateful to Commissioner Foster, Reverend Dr. Thomas, Dana East, and several folks who, when we reached out to them and asked them how we might do this, with open arms, they acknowledged how Martin Luther King holiday would be the perfect time for us to commemorate the history that was made here in this city. And I want to give it up especially to Commissioner J. Carvina Foster, who made sure to tell me that the gravity of this moment is not something that should be rushed. Let's give our people a time to celebrate. So I'm asking every single person to save the date in your calendar. That weekend here in High Point will be a weekend never to forget. There's a ball, there's a parade, there's a block party, there's a prayer service, there's a breakfast. Amen, somebody, Michael mentioned refrigerators. We want to make sure that y'all come and party with us on that weekend as we commemorate history, celebrate that holiday, serve our community, and continue to build a stronger High Point that's united. We love you all so much. And at this time, we'll entertain a motion to adjourn.
I'd like to make a motion to adjourn.
Second?
We have a motion and a second. Are there any questions or discussion? If not, all those in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? The ayes have it, and we are adjourned. Thank you.